So, hi everyone. Welcome to the Oversight meeting of May 25th. I'm going to start off by calling this meeting to order at 2:09 p.m. and we'll begin as always with a territorial acknowledgement. In that we respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish people, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, and Katzie nations. Unceded means that these territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we are currently situated on occupied territories. We'll now move to the roll call of attendance. So I'll start off with myself. Hi everyone, I'm Ben Tischler. My pronouns are he, him, and all of my access needs are met. Going down the list, we'll now go to Aaron.
Yeah, hey guys, my name is Aaron, pronouns he, him. Access needs, my Wi-Fi might cut out a little bit, campus Wi-Fi, but yeah, that's all.
And next we'll go to Rio.
Hi guys, Riordan Huneman, he, him, all my access needs being met.
All right, and Alan.
I'm Alan Ripka, I'm he, him, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Alan. We have no society staff on the call today. The minutes for this will just be done from the recording. So we can now move into the consent agenda. Motion reads, be it resolved to adopt the consent agenda by unanimous consent. The only item in the agenda today is just receiving and filing an old pair of minutes. So I'll seek unanimous consent on the consent agenda. If you'd like to object to an item within it, use the Zoom raise hand feature and we can then move that item into new business. So seeking unanimous consent, if you'd like to object, please use the Zoom raise hand feature. Seeing no objections, the consent agenda is carried unanimously and we'll now move to the adoption of the agenda. So the motion reads, be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. So first I'll start off with, can I get a mover?
I move.
Aaron moves. Second?
Riordan seconds.
Rio seconds. So if there are any amendments you'd like to make, you can list in the chat and make those amendments. I'm going to start off listing myself because we have some regrets that we need to file today. So I'm going to move to create a new section 6 in the agenda titled Ratification of Regrets with 6.1, a motion that reads, be it resolved to ratify the regrets of Gabe Leosis, Nim Basra, and Matthew Reed. Can I get a second for that amendment?
I second.
Okay, Aaron seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll move to a vote. So I'll seek unanimous consent. If you'd like to object, please use the Zoom raise hand feature and I'll call on you to record your vote. Seeing no objections, the amendment is carried. We'll now move back to the main motion, which is be it resolved to adopt the agenda as amended. So if there are any other amendments to the agenda you'd like to make, please list yourself in the chat and make them. Otherwise, we can move on to a vote on the adoption of the agenda. Seeing no discussion on this, we'll move to a vote. So I'll seek unanimous consent. If you'd like to object or abstain, use the Zoom raise hand feature and I'll record your vote. Seeing no objections, the motion to adopt the agenda is carried unanimously. We'll now move into item 6.1, which is which is the ratification of regrets motion, which is this. This motion is just to ratify regrets. So is there any discussion on the motion? Or actually, I'll get a mover and a seconder first, sorry. Can I get a mover for this?
I move.
Aaron moves. Second?
Seconded.
Communications seconds, Alan seconds. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing no discussion, we can move to a vote. So I'll seek unanimous consent on the motion to ratify these regrets. If you'd like to object, please use the Zoom raise hand feature and I'll record your vote. Seeing no objections, the motion is carried. We can now proceed on to sort of the meat of today's meeting, which is the motion titled Jurisdictional Issue Resolution that reads, whereas the OCEO only has jurisdiction to investigate current executive officers, whereas the recommendation outlined in motion 7.1 of the April 25th, 2022 meeting of the OCEO pertains to actions taken by past executive officers, whereas the CCBC does have jurisdiction in cases outlined under its terms of reference to investigate former counselors or former counselors/executives. Be it resolved that the OCEO not take up the recommendation outlined in motion 7.1. Be it further resolved to refer the recommendation outlined in motion 7.1 of the April 25th, 2022 meeting of OCEO to CCBC. Can I get a mover?
I move.
Aaron moves. Can I get a second?
I second.
Rio seconds. So going into discussion now. Is there any discussion on the motion? Please list yourself in the chat. Aaron?
Yeah, so to clarify for everyone, we are just telling CCBC it's their job to investigate, correct? Right.
I'll just respond to that. Yeah, we're basically just telling CCBC to look at this if we want to, and if not, no. Seeing as we just don't have jurisdiction to do this. Right, is there any other discussion? Seeing none, we can proceed to a vote on this as well. So I will seek unanimous consent. If you'd like to dissent, please use the Zoom raise hand feature and I will record your vote. Seeing no objections, the motion is carried unanimously and we can now just proceed on to the announcements for the day. So two announcements that I sort of want to make. The first of which is OCEO work report review. So I realized that I don't think the first work reports were sent to OCEO after you guys took office. So I'm going to resend that along with some details about how to sort of look at work reports, what to look for. And the timeline I'm aiming for is that we can sort of look at this first pair of work reports and compile all our feedback or thoughts or comments on them by Wednesday, June 1st, which is just a week from today. Does that sound good? Okay. Oh, Aaron?
Yeah. I was just asking, will we go over it right now? I think it would be beneficial for Alan and Rio.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I will just pull. I'll just actually talk a bit more generally about the work reports and sort of give a few examples about what to necessarily look for. So few things would be, one of the things to look at is just generally looking at if executives are meeting their hours. Execs normally are supposed to do 60 hours in a bi-weekly period. As you'll see in this work report, a few executives did significantly more than that, which is not necessarily a bad thing, just hopefully they don't burn themselves out in doing that. But in terms of other things to look for, it would be if there's really big inconsistencies in the hours of meetings. That's one thing. If one executive says a meeting is, I don't know, 3 hours, the other one says it's 6, that would be something to look at. Another thing is if one executive is saying a meeting happened, but another executive isn't saying that it happened. And another big case that this happened previously was Senate duties. So in the last term, we saw that several executives were reporting duties that more reflected those of an SFU senator and not necessarily of an SFSS executive. So that's also something to look out for if you see like Senate committees popping up or general Senate meetings, stuff like that. Depending on which portfolio that is, it's a different story if it's like for the university and academic affairs portfolio or for finance, let's say, but it's just something to look at. And also just generally, if there's something odd that you think warrants further discussion. Yep, Aaron, go ahead and do that. I'll also send this all what I just said here by email as well. But there's the May 1st to 15th work report. Is there, I think I can go to the next item in the announcements now, which is just for the next OCEO meeting. The next meeting will be June 9th at 8 p.m. Hoping that we can schedule these just every 2 weeks now to give ourselves a 1 week offset between when the board work reports are due and when our meeting is, so we have some time to look over them between when they're due and when they're sent to us, and then when we meet to chat about them. That's pretty much it for the day. So we'll move on to the last motion of the day, adjournment. So motion reads, be it resolved to adjourn this meeting at 2:21 p.m. Can I get a mover?
I move.
Aaron moves. Can I get a second?
A second.
Rio seconds. So I'll seek unanimous consent on the motion to adjourn. If you'd like to object and stay here longer, please use the Zoom raise hand feature and I'll record your vote. Seeing no objections, the motion to adjourn is carried and this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all for coming.